Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us, viewers, tonight. Happy 63rd Independence to Trinidad and Tobago. It is our 63rd year of being independent. We are grateful, we are thankful, viewers, that we don't have to depend on the English or the Queen to make a ruling or to make a judgment. We are free. We are free. So thank God for that. 63 years of freedom, as I would say. Also, just a reminder, being independent for 63 years, we at Real Talk Financing, we are offering the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago for the month of September 6% on a fixed deposit. Only because we are in the 63rd year of being independent. So we are Real Talk Financing. We are offering for you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, 30 days. This offer is ending on the 30th of September, viewers. Remember that? 6% on a fixed deposit with your interest up front. The reason for this is because we are in the 63rd year of being independent. So remember that, viewers. You want to get cash on a fixed deposit? The best in Trinidad and Tobago right now, and we are leading in the market. We are leading in the market, viewers. So remember that, call your friends, call your family. This month, viewers, September month, is the month to make a fixed deposit for you, yourself, the children, the family. This is the month to make it 6% until the 30th of September with your interest up front. Remember that. Call my office, viewers, 238-6716, 339-1670, and set up an appointment. So, a brief update for you. Motorists in Barapore have been advised of a temporary road closure along Papuri Road, Monkey Town, as the Minister of Works and Infrastructure carried out bridge reconstruction work that is necessary to facilitate the dismantling and removal of the Bailey Bridge. The closure will take effect from 7 a.m. on Wednesday, September 3rd and remain in place until 7 p.m. on Sunday, September 7th. During this period, alternative routes have been outlined for commuters. Vehicles weighing less than 5 tons are advised to use Cottage Road and Cemetery Road. That's the Princeton area. So those of you on that side will be familiar with these roads. So trying to go into our current affairs program for tonight. Health Minister Dr. Lakram Bodhi has revealed that the Ministry of Health spend more than $150 million annually on diabetic service for patients who have developed chronic renal disease, underscoring the scales of the crisis in this country, calling diabetes one of the country's most pressing health challenges. Dr. Lakram pointed out that in 2024, diabetes was responsible for more than 3 million deaths worldwide, a figure he described as alarming.
In 2024, diabetes was responsible for 3.4 million deaths, a rate of 1 death every 9 seconds, startling statistic. Locally, the National STEPS Survey 2024 also revealed that 15.8% of adults aged 18 to 69 have raised fasting blood glucose. So that's a warning sign for our young people.
The minister explained that if left untreated, diabetes can lead to life-threatening complications.
Diabetes wellness clinics providing multidisciplinary boot camp care. Over 2,100 patients have benefited, with 90% entering with uncontrolled diabetes. national foot screening tools and offloading booths to reduce major lower limb amputations. In 2024 alone, 269 major lower limb amputations were linked to diabetes.
So now viewers, while the ministry continues its fight through education, treatment and screening programs, additionally, proactive measures are on the agenda to strengthen the national response. Listen to this.
Of course, we have had the extended health center hours to improve access to screenings and care. And this is important because checking your blood sugar, going for screening is important, and we understand we have to make it convenient for citizens.
So viewers, Dr. Bodo stressed, however, the success requires more than government action. He urged communities, families and individuals to take greater responsibility for healthier lifestyle. So viewers, like I always say, your health is your responsibility. Yes, the government will try to put institutions in place to assist and to help with facilities, medications, exercise, education, programs, whatever they might put in place to benefit us. Our health is our responsibility. Remember that, viewers. Moving along, former Prime Minister Dr. Rowley has criticized Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisasa for dismissing as a non-issue remarks by UNC Pro Dr. Kirk Mehuru, who questioned Dr. Eric Williams' status as the nation's first Prime Minister and Father of the nation. On the 63rd anniversary of independence, on a Facebook post, Dr. Kirk argued that William was only premier during the West Indies Federation between 1958 and 1962 and not technically Prime Minister. He said, Barbados, Sir Grantley Adams served as Prime Minister. However, historians rejected the claims, stressing that Trinidad and Tobago only became independent in 1962, with Williams as the first Prime Minister. So Trinidad and Tobago, there's a lot of bacchanal going on between this. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, that is not our thing. I am not into the bacchanal thing with history. History is history. Many may try to rewrite history, but history remains history. It can't change. The A cannot change the B in history, you know. Always remember that, Always remember that. So it's time for the little bacchanal now. The Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection of the Tobago House of Assembly, THA, has confirmed that Hannah Benjamin is no longer connected to the division more than 2 months after he was charged with 2 sexual offenses involving a child. The former chairman of the Children Authority was charged earlier this year with engaging in sexual activities in the presence of a child and sexual communication with a child. He was granted $170,000 bail and is expected to return to court on January 16, 2026. In a statement, the division said, this decision reflects its zero-tolerance policy for misconduct and reaffirmed its committee and commitment to integrity, accountability, and the protection of vulnerable population. Both the PNM Tobago Council and the Innovative Democratic Alliance, the IDA, had publicly called for Benjamin immediate removal, arguing that anyone facing such charges could not hold leadership roles in children or child protection and social service. So Trinidad and Tobago, that is a case that we would let you know as we continue. Given an update on the accomplishment of the state of emergency thus far, Commissioner of Police Alyssa Grovero reported a reduction in violent crime, retrieval of deadly weapons, and reduction in murder. He noted that firearms remain the number one drivers of homicide in the country, and under the SOE operation, the recovery of these weapons by TTPS have been significant. The TTPS has executed 1,200 targeted operations. He noted that 87 illegal firearms were retrieved. Grovero.
TTPS has executed 1,200 targeted operations. We have recovered 87 illegal firearms during this period alone, contributing to 456 deadly weapons removed from the streets.
The COP pointed to a reduction in violent crime, now at 20%, and serious crime down by 13%. This, he said, has now surpassed the TTPS own national target. Listen to this.
Violent crimes are down by 20%. Tell me why. Clap for that. Serious reported crimes down by 13%. And what is nice about it, I would like this figure to be at 100% or at nil at all to investigate. But murder detection rate has improved from 15% to almost 20%. And violent crime detection rate is now at 24%, which has now surpassed our own national target.
So now, viewers, meanwhile, former National Security Minister Marvin Gonzalez have stated that he does not see the benefit of extending the ongoing state of emergency past its anticipated end date in late October. Gonzalez noted that once security threats have been neutralized, there will be no use for deregulation. Listen.
If they have dealt with the specific threat, then they should bring the state of emergency to an end. And if they want to declare another state of emergency to deal with other emerging threats that they cannot deal with outside of a state of emergency, then they should simply tell the country that.
I just love to hear Marvin, I just love to hear Marvin. Sad he couldn't do it. Gonzalez noted that once the security threat have been neutralized, there will be no use for the regulation. Let me tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. Let me tell you something. In October, when the state of emergency ends, they should recall it. They should recall it. For another 3 months, keep the crime under control. Keep crime under control. People are fearful. So if they continue that for another 3 months, October, November, December, maybe till January, all well and good. Christmas coming just now. People want to be able to shop in peace. So if they decide to do that, let me tell you something. I side would welcome that. Because daily, we understand the kinds of horrific things happen out there on the streets. Trust me, we know. On a daily basis. So my thing is, let it continue, all well and good for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. He said, there is a need for the government to come forward and explain to the public what was the real reason for the SOE. So why Marvin didn't come out and tell the citizens the real thing, why they kept the SOE? I tell you it for that now, But nevertheless, we prep for them. Viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, PM, the PNM left the country in shambles when we return.
We'll be right back.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
At Realtalk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Realtalk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Throws you a curveball, and you need a clear path forward. Trust Realtalk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Realtalk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Realtalk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome back.
So welcome back to Trinidad and Tobago. Remember, viewers, for the month of September, Realtalk Financing is giving you 6% on a fixed deposit with your interest up front. The reason for this, viewers, is that we are in the 63rd year of becoming an independent country. So Realtalk Financing is giving you 6% for the month of September. Remember that, viewers. Call your friends, call your family, let them know the great offer that Realtalk Financing is giving, and don't miss out on this. Again, I could enough. So Trinidad and Tobago, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar is now asking former Minister of Finance Clongenbert what he did with $506 billion. She claimed that the PNM administration left the country in shambles. Listen to the PM.
And he borrowed to pay borrowings, loans. So nothing is new in finance. There are different financing mechanisms, and they left us with an empty treasury. And my government will do all that we can to keep the country working and moving along again. So if we use the financing mechanisms, nothing is new about that, and nothing will be old about that. He did the same.
So Trinidad and Tobago, the PM was replying to Clongenbert, who recently alleged that the government was repurchasing or reproposing some $1.3 billion in loan taken for infrastructure project to instead pay public sector salary. Imbud also claimed that the government is broke. So Trinidad and Tobago, this is the thing here now, right? This is the thing. Clark Imbud was Minister of Finance for Trinidad and Tobago for 9 long years. Clark Imbud is telling Trinidad and Tobago that the present government is repurposing a loan for the sum of $1.3 billion taken for infrastructure projects to instead pay public salaries. So Imbud knows this. Right? Good. Now Imbud is also claiming that the government is broke. So I want to ask Clark Imbud now, who is telling Trinidad and Tobago that the present administration is broke. How would Clark Imbud know that? Clark Imbud was the Minister of Finance for 9 years in Trinidad and Tobago. So if the present government is broke, then Clark Imbud, who has been the PNM Minister of 5 years? No, 9 years. Not 5 years, 9 years. Clark Imbud has broken Trinidad and Tobago. Because the new administration took office 100 days ago. A little more than 100 days ago. It took them almost 2 months or 3 months to put boards together, to re-elect people and assign them. So what project did the UNC government start in 3 months? So Clark Imbud could say, well, they spent X amount of money. They didn't launch any projects. They did not launch any projects. So Clark Imbud cannot say the UNC government spent $10 billion. No, they can't say that. What Clark Imbud is telling Trinidad and Tobago is that the present administration is broke. So if Clark Imbud is telling Trinidad and Tobago that the present government is broke, then Clark Imbud left nothing in the treasury. I want to let you understand that. Clark Imbud left nothing in the treasury, so this present administration to use. So who broke Trinidad and Tobago? Well, let's say something. Common sense. Common sense. If I, Saeed, didn't leave no money in the cash register, how it is the person after me now could get money in the cash register? You think they would get any? No, they would not get none. Why? Because I did not leave none. So, I like to ask, before I say this, I am not affiliated with UNC or PNM. I want to let you understand that. I am not affiliated with the UNC or the PNM. So if I say this now, I say this based on the people. So I want to ask the PNM people, and I want to ask the UNC people, who broke Trinidad and Tobago? How come the treasury have no money? How come the treasury have no money? But the treasury have money to pay 900 high-ranking officials in Trinidad and Tobago, who the Salary Review Commission thought it was fit to increase the salary. So Trinidad and Tobago, there is no money in the treasury, maybe for you to get. How does that feel now? How does that feel? Clark Imbud bragging his mouth all over. You see them all over on our social media platform. All over. The government is broke. Who broke the government? So Clark Imbud now should come out and tell Trinidad and Tobago how much money they put in the treasury for the last 9 years. if this government is broke? Can Clongenberg come out and tell the public that? Is he brave enough? I want you to understand. Was Clongenberg and the PNM cabinet that raised the gas price in Trinidad? I want you to understand that. So when the PNM people want to brag all your mouth, it's all your pocket and all your dipping in to pay more gas. I want you to understand that. Inbud also claimed that the government is broke. Former Minister Brian Manning has, however, since denied that the previous administration mismanaged the country's finance. So how could Brian Manning now deny that all mismanaged the finance when Clongenberg is saying there's no money? So Clongenberg saying there's no money, Brian Manning is telling us they did not mismanage the money. So where is the money then? Where is the money? He noted that the PM cannot be held accountable for any alleged financial deficiencies now surfacing under this UNC government. So who all you want to blame? Who was running the treasury for the last 9 years, Brian? Who was running the treasury? Was it the minister from Guyana? Was it the minister from Grenada? Was it the minister from Barbados? Was it Maduro? I am asking Brian, who was running the treasury? Listen to this video.
I would say that they have a very, very difficult time meeting their current expenditure. And it's self-inflicted. The TTRA was there to ensure that everyone should have to pay their fair share. Right now, we have an economy that's being carried by the middle class because those who are in the lower brackets are tax exempt. And then those in the higher brackets have the option to pay taxes.
So Trinidad and Tobago, where is all the money? This is what we want to find out. Where is all the money? Where's all the tax-paying citizens' money going? All the companies that are paying taxes, where is this money going? Can Clongenberg come out and clarify that? Because Clongenberg is the one who said this government is broken. And Clongenberg was the Minister of Finance for 9 years. It's only 3 months now, Trinidad and Tobago. Clongenberg is not the Minister of Finance. But he comes out bold on a platform to say the present administration is broke. So what he was doing for the last 9 years. Your Honor, we have a boom in the country. Is a boom or a bomb? Which one? So all these GDP rating, all this rating we was getting, that we country doing good and there's a surplus and we making money. Clongenberg, was that a lie? I am asking a question. Is that a lie? Call a good night.
Night, Mr. Saeed. Great program as usual.
Thank you, my
but
friend.
Every citizen in this country know what they did. They were exposed by this present administration. The amount of money they stole from us, our money they stole. So they tell themselves when they steal, they had stolen all this money from us, well, the country definitely will broke. They will they destroy this country so badly. And thank God, the citizens wake up in this country and emancipated them from the politics. Because the next place, Clongenberg, and those people, red dangerous organization, persons who are headed, was into our bank account. I don't know if you recall, and the citizens of this country recall, when he said there are people with money in the bank sitting there doing nothing. He's talking about the citizen bank account. They were going into that.
Yes.
And thank God we emancipated them. So they destroyed the country really badly. But don't worry, God is good. This country will fix. And even today, from a crime perspective, They have the country today where crime is today. Every day you get a bite on your unabated robbery, home invasion, murder. They're watching you just walk in your door and murdering you. They have it like that. And now they want to blame everybody. Everybody. It's a fight. All those, the person, commissioner, and they have to carry a little blame. They should partner with the citizens of this country. That is what they should do. Partner with the citizens of this country, not go out and advantage them, but we will fix it. Anyway, Mr. Saieed, I had some great friends I met over the weekend, some criminologists of doctor and so on, and I want you to know, they label you the minister of the people. So that is your handle from now. You are the minister of the people because you are presenting the facts to the people of this country and doing everything to make this country a better place, because you have all the financial institutions back against the wall, and they're fighting up now to see what they can do with their interests. But you've gone clear already with all of that. So, they listen to your program religiously, and they wish you all the best, and God bless you. I will share another night with some of the things we discussed with the criminologists, and another program I'll share it with the citizens and you. So God bless you and your staff. Keep up the great work you're doing, Mr. Saieed.
Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, before we move any further, I tell you, I don't pick sides, you know. I don't pick sides. The UNC cancelled Independence Day in Trinidad and Tobago and called for a day of prayer. So on this day of prayer, did we see any minister from the UNC side gathering to pray? Did we see them at any church, any temple, any cathedral, any mosque? They called for a day of prayer. Not one video, not one picture of a minister in a religious place taking part in the day of prayer. How does that sound to you now? So I want to ask our Prime Minister, Kamala Persad-Bissessar, who leads the UNC, what happened to your ministers and them that they could not attend a prayer session in a gathering or a mosque or a temple or a church or even a cathedral? Were all of them too busy doing what exactly? You call for a day of prayer, being the Prime Minister, but yet no show by not even a representative to say, well, somebody represented the minister. Let me tell you something. That alone is a disgrace by itself. Total disgrace. It's sad. It's sad. And it's stinking sad. But whether you like it or not, it's a sad thing. Keep in mind, all I wanted the support of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. They gave you all the support. It's by the beginning of November, I will be asking for results. Trust me. Trust me. Former Prime Minister, before we go further, viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. But when we come back, we're going to hear Sinanan on road safety. Sinanan now gets up after 9 years of sleeping. More when we return.
We'll be right back.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtor Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtor Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Throws you a curveball, and you need a clear path forward. Trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome back.
So trying to make just a little notice before we go any further. Our loan center, Victoria Village, has been relocated to Superior Street in San Fernando. We are trying to get a picture up on screen, viewers, but later on the program, we will get it up so you all will see our new location. So those of you who are going, okay, this is it right here. This is our new location for our loan center in Superior Street. It's, I believe it's 23 Superior Street, San Fernando. So viewers, those of you who want to get a loan borrow from Real Talk Financing, we are just before the credit union, Real Talk Credit Union in San Fernando. And also viewers, the credit union in South is closed until further notice for an upgrade in our system. So viewers, it's two things that Real Talk Financing or the Real Talk Group of Company is doing. We have relocated our Victoria Village Loan Center to 23 Superior Street in San Fernando. Hopefully by the end of September, this will be ready, viewers. And also, Real Talk Credit Union in South is closed for a system upgrade. So viewers, anything you need concerning credit union, feel free to reach out to me, 339-1670. I will be able to answer some of your questions once it is related to you and your account. So remember that, viewers. Remember that. There are still transactions taking place. Nevertheless, you can go into the credit union and they will deal with you. But more of the important issue is that we are doing a system upgrade. So remember that, viewers. As time go along, being in finance, you have to update and upgrade your system with higher firewalls, purchasing servers. Sometimes you go to a different software. Let me tell you something, in finance, you need to climb the ladder. Anything come out in the market, concerning finance, firewall, tech, computers, you always have to be at the head of your game. Always remember that, viewers. It's finance we in. At the same time, Real Talk Financing is offering you 6% on a fixed deposit for the month of for the month of September, viewers. You know, September, December, right? You know, as it's Christmas time. But nevertheless, you want a higher interest rate on your fixed deposit? Real Talk Financing this September, 6% interest up front. Call your friends, call your family, spread the word in Trinidad and Tobago. Let me tell you something. Nobody could beat us in the fixed deposit department in Trinidad and Tobago. We on top. When I tell you we on top, we on top. If you get anybody to beat that, let me know. Anybody. So, former Minister of Transport, Rohan Sinanan, has stated that road users need to practice caution while using the nation roads. Calling for more attention to be paid to road safety, he noted the deadly mix of speeding, alcohol, and reckless driving, stressing that one fatal crash can shatter an entire community. Let's hear the minister.
Once you're behind the wheel, once you're the designated driver, you should not be indulged in any sort of drugs or alcohol. Speeding is a major cause of fatal accidents, and in most cases you find that alcohol, it forms a part of that influence of speeding. Either trying to get to somewhere, not being in full control of yourself, not even understanding the speed that you're driving at. And, you know, one road fatality disrupts an entire community.
Now, all the listeners at Trinidad and Tobago, Sinanan said that this was the reason his government introduced the demerit point system. So I want to ask Rohan Sinanan, what part of the demerit point system prevented accident? What part of the demerit point system prevented accident? This is what I want to find out. Accident are caused by what? Reckless driving, alcohol, speed. Can the demerit point system prevent accident? No, it can't. It can't. That is left up to the individual to speed or not. If they speed, they get in an accident, the dead dies it. That is it. However, with a new government, a new administration now in office, he says it is for them to decide the next step in tackling road safety. Sinan added that the future will show whether those policies and programs were of any benefit. Listen to this.
Try, avoiding to comment on, the current happenings of the government. My philosophy is that there's a new government in place. They will have new policies and programs, and you must give them a chance to roll it out. The future will tell us whether those policies and programs were of any benefit. Was it better? Or, what really was the results of it?
So, Sinanan, you said this demerit point system would have prevented reckless driving, would have prevented drunk driving, would have prevented accident, but still there were lots of accidents. A lot of individual driving drunk. And that's it. But you know what this program did? And I said that on many occasions on this show. With the demerit point system, I got a ticket. Trinidad and Tobago, I will always remember this. Come back to me. I will always remember this, Trinidad and Tobago. The demerit point system caused me to get a ticket for my illiterate police officer. Illiterate. You know why I say that? 2-lane headed north. A left lane and a right lane. 2-lane headed north. And I got a ticket. for illegally overtaking on the left. What caused that? The demerit point system. So I didn't know if the officer is stupid or dotish. I didn't know if he noticed the difference between two-lane heading north and non-heading south. I didn't know. I didn't know if he girl getting vexed and he just decided to come out and they started to share a ticket. But I hope she could prevent you again from getting shamed out by Saeed. Because it takes a man without sense. It takes a man who don't know the difference. It takes a man who don't know how to make an A. It takes a man who don't know a number 1 from a number 5 to give a man a ticket for illegally overtaking on the left when 2 roads heading north. But nevertheless, I wish him all the best in life. I wish him all the best. So Trinidad and Tobago, the former minister says he hopes road safety remains a priority of the new government, adding that the previous administration implemented a system that once cut accident by 50%. Listen to this.
We place a lot of emphasis on road safety. That is why we came up with the whole demerit points system, the U-turn system, and the records will show that we were the only country in the Western Hemisphere to achieve that global record of having a more than 50% reduction in fatal road accidents. We have seen some deviation from the previous policy, but I'm just hoping that the focus remains on road safety, and whatever is implemented, has that in mind. The idea is to go to zero road fatality.
So Trinidad and Tobago, the only thing I can tell about the demerit point system is that a lot of people lost their license for a bent tire, a tire cut in one way, a crack on the windscreen, a blow bulb, you didn't wear your seatbelt. Many people were suspended because of that. Because of that. Why? Because the company vehicle they're driving not fit. The person's vehicle who they're driving for it not fit. And that's the reality of it. So 50% of the people home. 100 ticket share, 50 of them get demerit point, 50 of them were suspended. Why? For simple little thing as a blow bulb, a wiper, a crack mirror, crack windscreen, and that was it. That was it. So half of the population could say was home then. It's sad. It's sad. But the government was working for you. Nevertheless, so Trinidad and Tobago, we're going to tell a school story. Minister of Education, Dr. Michael Dowlett, has commended the Prime Minister, Kamala Persad-Bissessar, for launching the largest July-August school repair program in the country history under her leadership. He stated that 279 schools and 169 emergency works has been done. This has totaled to 395 projects over the July-August vacation. Listen to this.
I will start first with the school repair program. And so I want to congratulate our Prime Minister on her directive. Prime Minister, we have had the largest July-August school repair program in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. We started with 279 schools, and in addition, 169 emergency works. So, Prime Minister, it came up to 395 projects over the July-August.
So, viewers, Dr. Dowlett also reassures students and parents that they can look forward to receiving their laptops in the new school term. Dowlett.
I want to talk about the laptop distribution initiative. I want to say, Prime Minister, the future of this country doesn't lie only in the book bags, but in the laptops.
Yes.
And I want to say that beginning at the end of September, the first phase of the rollout of 18,000 laptops for our new Form 1 students will begin. Let's congratulate our Prime Minister on her vision.
So in case Gasbid only asking where the laptops, look out for it in the new school team. The minister also stated that device for special needs students will also be ready soon with AI technology. Now this is a plus. In the last 9 years I have heard nothing for the disabled students in Trinidad and Tobago. Nothing from the PNM. Gasmi Dolly, this is something new to you also. So device for special need student will also be ready soon with AI technology. He also assured that all outstanding book grant will be distributed before the opening of schools. Listen to this.
We got approval for 20,000 students to receive the school supplies and book grant. Let's congratulate our Prime Minister on this. And so, Prime Minister, up to today, we have distributed 8.1 million of that directly to parents, and the rest of it will be distributed during the upcoming weeks by the 5th of September, before all will be distributed before the opening of school.
So, Trinidad and Tobago, the Minister of Homeland Security, Roger Alexander, also confirmed that at the opening of the new term, 95 police officers will be placed in schools around Trinidad and Tobago.
We first commend the Commissioner of Police. At the opening of the school term, 95 police officers will be placed in schools in and around Trinidad and Tobago.
So Trinidad and Tobago, 2 new initiatives. Needy students will be getting laptops with AI technology in it, and school will have police officers. 2 new initiatives rolled out by the UNC administration, and I must give them kudos for that. So we have a few minutes into our show before we come to our end, viewers, but we're going into some international news tonight. International. US President Donald Trump has announced during a White House press conference this afternoon that the US military had shut out a boat carrying drugs out of Venezuela. His statement was shortly after confirmed by US State Secretary Marco Rubio, who posted to X that the US military had conducted a lethal strike on the Southern Caribbean. Listen to this, viewers.
Come out, and when you leave the room, you'll see that we just, over the last few minutes, literally shot out a boat, a drug-carrying boat, a lot of drugs in that boat. And you'll be seeing that, and you'll be reading about that. It just happened moments ago, and our great general, head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who's been so incredible, including what took place in Iran, knocking out potential nuclear power for a long time to come. I think within a month they would have had it if we didn't do what we did. But he gave us a little bit of a briefing, and you'll see. And there's more where that came from. We have a lot of drugs pouring into our country, coming in for a long time. And we just, these came out of Venezuela and coming out very heavily from Venezuela. A lot of things are coming out of Venezuela.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, earlier this morning, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro have stated that his country was at maximum preparedness and ready to respond to, if any, attacked by force that the United States government has deployed to the Caribbean. Listen to this now.
8 barcos militares con 1.200 misiles y un submarino nuclear apuntan a Venezuela. Es una amenaza extravagante, injustificable, inmoral y absolutamente criminal, sangrienta. Absolutamente criminal. Ellos han querido avanzar hacia lo que llaman la máxima presión, en este caso es militar. Y ante la máxima presión militar, nosotros hemos declarado la máxima preparación para la defensa de Venezuela.
So viewers, Maduro's government has responded by deploying troops along its coast and border with neighboring Colombia, as well as by urging Venezuelans to enlist in a civilian millet. Maduro said he would constitutionally declare a republic in arms if the U.S. attacked Venezuela. He did not elaborate. Caribbean, as well as a destroyer USS Sampson and a cruiser USS Lake Erie in the waters of Latin America. So Trinidad and Tobago, there are missile ships in the Caribbean. I'm going to tell you something. We in Trinidad, we have to be very careful not to get caught up in this battle. We have to be very careful. I hope the Minister of Homeland Security, the Minister of Defense, the security for Trinidad and Tobago, those individuals, I hope they understand what is taking place. If the U.S. is sending warships to the Caribbean to combat drugs, let them do their work. The minister's work in Trinidad, the Minister of Security, is to see about the country. So please clean up the act of the Wild Wild West in Trinidad and Tobago, keep our country safe, and let the U.S. do their work on the sea. That's all I could say. Is all I could say. So Trinidad and Tobago, we have come to the end of our program tonight, but nevertheless, the rerun of this program is tomorrow from 11:30 to 12:30 p.m. We'll be right back here another night for a live Real Talk with Saeed. Until then, be safe and enjoy.